So you want to know if there are any foods that can help implantation after IVF. Well, the answer is yes, but it's not pineapple. Today on Nourish, I'm going to tell you about 3 foods that can help implantation after IVF. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount of research into the foods that help implantation after IVF, but there is some, so you may as well give these foods a go. Firstly, make sure you're eating plenty of whole grains. An American study by Dr. Gaskins and his team found that those who consumed a higher intake of whole grains each day had a higher probability of their embryo implanting than women who had the lowest intake of whole grains. This was attributed to the fact that women who consumed more whole grains developed thicker uterine linings, and we already know that a thick uterine lining is beneficial for implantation. It's recommended that we include at least 48 grams of whole grains in our diet each day. So try to include some whole grains at each meal after your embryo transfer. You might like to try some oats for breakfast, an ancient grain salad for lunch, and brown rice with dinner. Secondly, include low mercury omega-3 rich fish in your meal plan 3 times a week. A recent study of 100 women undergoing assisted reproductive therapy found that women who had a higher intake of omega-3 in their diet had higher rates of implantation than those who consumed less omega-3. Fish is one of the best ways to boost your omega-3 intake, so that's the best place to start. Although research seems to suggest that it's not just omega-3 that's helpful. Reducing bad saturated fats with good monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats seems to be beneficial for implantation in general. To achieve this, avoid processed foods like chips and chocolate and choose foods rich in good fats like nuts and extra virgin olive oil. And number 3 is Brazil nuts. Now, I have to admit that I haven't seen any studies that directly link eating Brazil nuts with increased implantation rates after IVF, but Brazil nuts are a good food source of zinc, and there are a few emerging studies on the benefits of zinc for implantation. Furthermore, high blood copper levels have been shown to be problematic when it comes to implantation, and increasing the zinc to copper ratio has been shown to be a good way to improve this. Now, although Brazil nuts do contain some copper, the amount is minute compared to the amount of zinc. So it could be a good idea to enjoy 6 Brazil nuts per day after your embryo transfer. Other foods that have good zinc to copper ratio include eggs, wheat germ, and oysters. But just watch your mercury intake if you're eating oysters as well as fish. Whether you decide to focus on eating these 3 foods or not, it's important to make sure that you're eating a diet which is high in nutrient-rich foods and avoiding highly processed foods, as what you eat in the lead up to conception, during pregnancy and breastfeeding has a huge impact on programming your baby's epigenetics. Make sure that you check out my other videos on a nutritious diet to optimize your fertility, including the one on pineapple for implantation, and subscribe so that you'll receive my latest fertility video each week. I look forward to seeing you in my next video.